unrestrained, and unleashed. Success. I want it now, now, now. Actually, I wanted it yesterday, but I'm settling for right this minute. Give him the reins to the horse and you say, ride. To initiate your own self-expression, to create something amazing. Hi, everyone. It is Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer, and today is going to be so much fun. Today, we're going to talk about the cardinal signs. Now, you have all 4 of them in your chart: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So I want you to go and get your gorgeous natal chart, and I want you to see where you have these different signs. Now, if you have planets there, this video is going to be even more relevant, more potent, but it is still so important to understand how these 4 cardinal signs work in your chart. What do they mean and what are they here to do? So in my other videos, I've already talked about the fixed signs and how they are here to preserve and to build. And I've also talked about the mutable signs in another video. And those 2 videos are so important to watch in tandem with this video. The mutable signs are at the end of the life cycle, and they are here to adapt, create change, and even kill off, if you will, their energy that ends things. Well, the cardinal signs are the life givers. They are the creators. So today we're going to talk about where in your own chart do you have this energy where you are wanting to build life, right? To initiate your own self-expression, to create something amazing. These 4 signs bring a potency and a power into your life, into an arena. All the houses mean something. And I hope that you're watching my playlist with Connie Joe, where we are going into a deep, deep dive through the houses. And so far we have half of the zodiac already done. So I hope you guys are watching that playlist too. So you can kind of correlate this sign with whatever house it is in and start making meaning out of it, because it is so powerful. This is where you hold a tremendous amount of rocket fuel, juicy fruit, and power to create life and get life on your own terms. So where do you have these 4 signs in your own chart? Now, the cardinal signs have actually a lot in common. And so people born under the signs of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn are most always super active, very self-motivated, very ambitious. They have a lot of ambition. They don't want to be average. And they like to generate momentum and energy in their lives, in their relationships, or in their world, or in their group of people, or at work, because they throw out a lot of energy, a ton of energy. Wherever you have this in your chart, this is where you will find a lot of power. These 4 signs are extremely ambitious and they are very restless. And they also, and this is in your own chart, this is where you have to learn from your own experiences, where you don't want to learn from just the advice from others or wisdom from others. This isn't where you want to learn from the books, if you will, or theory or mythology. This is where you want to do your own self-discovery, right? Cardinal signs learn through their own adventures, their own courage, their own experiences, their own losses. They also become quite skilled at and good for others to initiate other people into new adventures and new places. So each cardinal sign is a starter in a trio, in a set of 3 signs. And so one way to understand the whole zodiac is to understand the seasons. So cardinal signs have a natural ability to put things into motion. Each quadrant of the zodiac, of the wheel, is kicked off with a cardinal sign. And I'm talking about the natural zodiacal wheel, okay? So just the natural wheel. It starts with Aries. Aries kicks off the whole wheel. So Aries rules the first house. It rules the ascendant. This is who I am. Who am I? Who do I want to be, right? That's Aries. And then Cancer is down at the IC in the natural zodiacal wheel, and it rules the 4th house. That's why cardinal signs are angular. That's why they come with a lot of rocket fuel, a lot of punch, a lot of pack, and a lot of power, a lot of potency. So Cancer is the emotional, and the 4th house is the emotional wellspring, and it is the home home base. It is the roots and the heritage of the natural wheel. Libra is the first sign above the horizon, and we call it the descendant. And this is where we meet other people. This is where we start to have social and business relationships and marriage partners. And Capricorn is right there at the top of the chart on the last angle, the MC, and it is at the peak, representing our personal high points, our legacy, our greatness, and our achievements. When cardinal signs are healthy and positive, I want you to look at in your own chart. Do you have a cardinal sign in the 5th house of creativity in children? Well, this is where you bring a lot of energy to children in your life and to creativity. Do you have a cardinal sign in the 7th house? Well, then you bring a lot of this cardinal type of energy into your business relationships and your social relationships, right? Do you have a cardinal sign in the 2nd house? Well, you are driven probably by money and beauty and nature, and you bring a pack and a punch and a power, right, to building something. I really want you to think about how cardinal signs, not just the planets, but how cardinal signs show up in your own chart. It is so fascinating. It is so riveting. And we're going to go into all 4 signs. Even if you don't have planets, still listen, because you do have these 4 signs and they are in certain houses and they are still operating, even if you don't have a planet in these signs. So stick with me. This is going to be really, really interesting and a new take on these 4 different signs and how they work in your own chart. Wherever you have your cardinal signs, if you're a healthy, positive person working well with yourself in life, this is where you are very enterprising. This is where you will take initiative. This is where you will start new things. This is where you'll be a little bit forceful. This is kind of where you will be kind of rabid, if you know what I mean. Like, you will not let go. You will be assertive, dominant, even aggressive, and you have an enormous ability to create. You are a life force. So wherever your cardinal signs are, you are a creative, inspiring, empowering force of life. And this is also where you're kind of independent and you're highly self-aware and even self-conscious. When cardinal signs are unhealthy, then this is the place in your chart where you will be kind of self-centered and self-righteous and a bulldozer and too aggressive and too insensitive and too assertive and too full of yourself and too reckless and too impatient and me, now, right? And you can't even adopt. This is where you're uncoachable. If your cardinal signs are unhealthy, you, my friend, my sweet friend, are uncoachable. Has anybody tried to coach you? I don't know. I have an Aries dog now. My new puppy is an Aries, and oh my God, what it takes to coach him. Right? And then he has a Libra moon. So he has 2 cardinal signs as his primary planets. I won't say he's not coachable, but he is not coachable if I don't incentivize him or motivate him to stretch beyond, the banana peel that he wants to eat off the street. Yeah, I have to have a better, bigger thing than the banana peel that he can't get his nose out of. He's so cute. You try coaching an Aries. You try coaching a Libra. You try coaching a Cancer. A Cancer and a Libra, they operate with defensive-ness. And then have you ever tried to coach a Capricorn? Yeah, no. How you coach a Capricorn is you give him the reins to the horse and you say, ride. Ride, baby, ride. Yeah, you don't say, no, this is how you hold the reins, and this is how you sit yourself in the saddle, and this is how you kick the horse to get him to go. No, you give him the reins and you say, ride, baby, ride. Yeah, they're very difficult to coach because they're cardinal energy. So they're the pilot for their own ship. And I was thinking rocket ship. Alien ship. Cardinal signs are the instigators, and they're ready to forge ahead with plans, and they attract people who will support their ideas, their efforts, their energy. And they usually end up at a very young age as a leader. And they tend to be outgoing, with the exception of Cancer, but Cancer can be outgoing if it has a lot of Gemini in the chart. Cancers and Capricorns can be more of the quiet leader, right? But they can be quite intimidating. But they are engaged with the world in a very dynamic way. Dynamic means moving in all different kinds of directions. And I will tell you, they are happiest when they run the show. Yeah. So if you're running the show truthfully and you have a cardinal sign person in your life, just at least make them think that they are. Don't tell them that they're not really running the show. Let them have their fantasy that they're really calling the shots and running the show, because that's how they like it. So I want you to also think about, you can think of the cardinal signs in terms of seasons. Each cardinal sign is in a different element, just like each fixed sign is in a different element and each mutable sign is in a different element. Aries is the fire cardinal sign. Cancer is the water cardinal sign. Libra is the air cardinal sign, and Capricorn is the earth cardinal sign. sign, but they all have an initiation about them. And they all start each of our 4 seasons, and they lead naturally into life, always pushing for new experiences. Or if you think about creating a whole new season, fixed signs are in the middle of each season and mutable signs end each season. Isn't that interesting? Aries comes about in the spring, Cancer, summer, Libra's fall, and Capricorn is winter. We've got the spring equinox, the summer solstice with Cancer, and then the fall equinox around September 21st, right? For Libra, and then Capricorn is the winter solstice. So Aries brings in the spring equinox around March 21st. Isn't it interesting? So another way to say it is cardinal signs are the beginning of something. The fixed signs are building that new beginning out. And then the mutable signs change, adapt, and even end in order to create anew. And it goes in a cyclical motion like that all around the whole zodiac. So it goes in order that way. It goes cardinal, fixed, mutable. So when you look at your chart, go find your cardinal sign Aries, and then you'll see the next sign is Taurus, which is fixed, and the next sign is Gemini, which is mutable, and then the next sign is Cancer, which is cardinal, right? And Leo is fixed. You got it? Virgo is mutable, and it goes around, and it's cyclical. And so it's really interesting to start thinking about your own chart this way and what houses and the meaning of those houses are. And the role of the cardinal signs in your chart is to push something forward, is to become first at something and to initiate. So wherever you have Aries energy, that's where you are doing something for the first time, probably in your family, your tribe, your culture. So for me, I have Aries in the 10th house. And there's no other astrologer in my family. I am going first truthfully, in my whole family, I think I am the only one that owns her own business. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? And that's in my career. So we're going to go more deeply into each of the signs, but I want to give you just a tiny little bit right here. Wherever you have Aries in your chart, or if you are an Aries, or if you have a planet in Aries, this is where you are a true catalyst in your life. This is where you are sort of branding yourself. You're creating a brand. So what is your brand? What is your signature? What is your mark? You're leaving a mark in this way that the house in which it's in dictates, and you are totally in your commitment to yourself, your vision, your self-expression, your creativity, your power. This is the me, me, and me house. And so there is a raw fire force of energy here. It can be so, so powerful. So tell me where you have Aries in your chart, and do you have a planet there? And if not, I don't have any planets in Aries. You don't need a planet in Aries for it to be a real badass, because Mars is somewhere, and Mars is running and ruling your Aries house. Well, we're going to get into it deeper. I'm going to go way, way deeper, but I just want to give you this little tidbit. And by the way, if you are a member at Soul Navigation, it's just like $2 a month. I want to say thank you so much. You can join easily, and it puts 10 cents into my pocket a day. And I am so grateful, because I could not do these videos if it wasn't for all my members. And as a thank you to you, you get to see this whole entire video, and you get all my exclusive content. And you also get to see videos in their entirety on Wednesdays. So I will put this whole video out in its entirety for my members. And if you're not a member, I hope that you get a lot out of what I'm putting out here right now. And I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you would consider coming and being a member to help the channel live and thrive and survive. So Aries wants to project themselves into the world in a very meaningful and an important way in order to have experiences, in order to learn. And Aries is usually, wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is high activity, high octane fuel. So if you have this in the 4th house, it's your family. Probably if you have this in the 3rd house, it is your mind. Your mind is probably nonstop, and you're always wanting to learn. If it's in the 9th house, it's probably through travel, culture, philosophy, religion, understanding some belief system, always wanting to improve yourself, or teaching. Aries, wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is where you're trying to find newness, new, and new, more, and more, now, and now. That's Aries. So wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is where you lead and you initiate with a great emotional force. This is where you have deep internal passion and feelings and thoughtfulness and sensitivities. And this is where you really have a palpable emotional force about you. And you might even get emotionally overwhelmed wherever you have Cancer in your chart, because you're very, very, very sensitive. And this is where you can also read the moods of other people. And this is how you do emotions. And this is where you have a depth of feeling and where you have developed yourself, or how you have developed your internal nurturer. Wherever you have Libra, this is where you have a deep force, a power to initiate relationships and relating to other people. I'll also say this is where you can initiate new ideas. Libra is extremely highly intelligent, and it's an air sign. Libra energy is where you would create social interactions and connections with individuals, where you would join people, where you would have diplomacy, diplomatic tendencies, where you would be very artful inside communications, creating connections and putting people together in a way that feels balanced and harmonious. And wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, well, this has just this formidable grounded strength and this natural tendency to come from a place of authority. And this is where you can have a substantial amount of energy around achieving things, working towards long-term goals, and wanting to create, or just having a natural ability to create material success in your world. So what house do you have, and any planets? I don't have any Capricorn in my chart, but it's in my 6th house. That's why I don't stop working ever. I work around the clock. I don't even remember sleeping. Where do you have Capricorn in your chart? Because that's where you're going to work your ass off. What house? Is it in the house of me, the 1st house? Is it in the 7th house? Is it in the 8th house? Is it in the 11th house, right? Where do you work your butt off? So cardinal signs show us how we initiate and how we approach our projects and our life. Wherever you have your cardinal signs, those 4 cardinal signs, that's how you initiate. And those arenas, those houses show you where you initiate. So if you have a cardinal sign in the 8th house, you might be the sexual initiator. You might be more comfortable initiating intimacy. If you don't, if you have a mutable sign in the 8th house, you might be much more comfortable being the receiver, on the receiving end of intimacy, not taking the risks that cardinal signs like to take. I want to say something interesting, because we're going to go deeper into the signs, but mutable signs, I think, get along fairly well with one another. But cardinal signs, they don't really get along with one another. There's far more misunderstandings, because there is a vying for position. There is a desire to be the boss. There's a feeling of too many cooks in the kitchen. And it's like, am I alpha or are you alpha? Who's alpha? Right? Oh, we can't both be alpha. Out of the 2 cardinal signs, who's going to be the alpha? So are you a cardinal sign? Do you have a predominant cardinal sign? And are you the alpha? And are you uncomfortable not being the alpha? Right? So really think about that. Do you always have to dominate? And if so, do you have a lot of cardinal signs? And do you trust a mutable sign person to take the lead, to dominate, to be the alpha, to initiate? Right? It's a very interesting question. And if you are a mutable sign, are you the alpha? Can you alpha your cardinal sign friends or people or parents or partner? Think about it. It's really, isn't this exciting? Don't you love learning? Don't you love learning? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, by the way, I just got a new report. I told you about it last week, but just in case you weren't here, I got this new report. It's called the Vertex report. But the reason why I love it, is it goes into the vertex and the anti-vertex in your chart, but it also goes into your signs and planets on the angles. It talks about all 4 angles, and this is so exciting. It also talks about the nodes. Yeah, it does all of that. And it's on sale. I have it on sale. The price is going to go up in January. But if you haven't already gotten it, just go to my shop tab at soulnavigation.com, click on the shop tab, and then go hunt for the Vertex report. It is so good. And oh my God, I loved it. It's short and sweet, but you'll get to learn about your angles. And you'll get to learn the ascendant, the descendant, the IC, and the MC. And the nodes, of course. This is Aurora. She decided to be with us because Bo is at the groomer. Okay, let's keep talking. Wherever you have cardinal signs is where you will take charge. And it's also where you can create. And by the way, you guys seem to really love my cold readings and learn how to read natal charts. So I'm going to do that again, drawing from my members' names, my superstar, super supporters' names. So look forward to more of those because I got great feedback on it. So let's go a little bit deeper into Aries energy. And wherever you have Aries in your chart, and whatever planet you have Aries in, it will express itself in Arian energy. And so the primary goal or purpose for Aries energy is to be in search of himself or herself or themselves. So wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is where you have like this urgency to express yourself. The only tricky thing about this is not everybody's that interested in you. Right? And so Aries can get shot down and they can be thought of as very self-absorbed and self-centered. While you have an urgent need to put yourself out there, not everybody has the same match in urgency in wanting to receive that energy. And so Aries energy projects their energy onto the environment. And this is where you move fast and where you can be kind of, like I said, reckless, but extremely trailblazing and pioneering and inspiring. Because you can move through closed doors. You can get doors to open. One, because you're a bulldozer, but two, you also are convincing. You have a need to put your energy out there. One thing that can happen is you can become really short-sighted of other people's needs. You can miss the big picture because you're just so darn driven. You're driven in your own desire. And so sometimes you can neglect to see the desires of others around you. But there's also something really cool here. And wherever you have this internal drive to be massively successful, to be really good at something. There's a competition in this energy inside of your chart. And it could be just competing with your own self, but there's a part of you, wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is the part of you where you're really, truly not trying to be a loser. Yeah, you don't want to lose. This is the part of your chart where you really, really want to win. And you want to see yourself as a success. So if you have this in the fourth house, you really want to win at life at being a mom or running a family or having a beautiful home or a good home, building a great home. You want to be a successful home maker. And I don't mean that in a archaic 1950s terminology. I mean literally making, building, nurturing, loving, growing a beautiful, warm home. This is also where you kind of don't want to wait a long amount of time to receive your goal. You want your goals now. I want it now, now, now. Actually, I wanted it yesterday, but I'm settling for right this minute. That's Aries. You want immediate results, immediate returns, and you want your goals met now. Now, Aries channels their cardinal energy by being the trailblazing, initiating motivators of the zodiac. And when they are good, they are phenomenal. And when they are not good, they're really difficult. Super, super difficult. Do you know a difficult Aries? And do you know an inspiring Aries? I know both. It's like my least favorite person is one of them. And then one of my most favorite people is the other. The healthy one is one of my most favorite people. The unhealthy one, so difficult to deal with. Oh, really, really hard. But Aries, this is the part of your chart where you're not sitting around doing nothing. You're not sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wondering what to do. I'm so stuck. I'm so lost. Woe is me. I don't know who I am. No, you know exactly who you are, exactly what you want, exactly how you're going to get it, when you're going to get it, why you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, and the whole rest. So if you have planets in the first house, they operate like this too. If Aries wants something, they don't take no for an answer, and they will work toward it. I'm not saying they'll work hard toward it. They will whittle things down until they get what they want. They will make it become so. And they might die trying. That's Aries energy, you guys. Are you an Aries? Are you an Aries? Are you involved with an Aries? Aries does not hear no. No, thank you. What? Oh, you really don't mean no, right? They don't hear the words no. I'm thinking of my Aries. Oh my God, they really do not hear the words no. Tell me, Aries, if you can relate to this. And if you can't relate to this, then you have something else in your chart happening. I think this is why Aries gets labeled as impatient and impulsive and all of that. I will say, though, that Aries is super aware of themselves. They are the people in the zodiac that always want to grow, and they're filled with energy. They want more, more, and more. They really do. Not gluttony, not like a Taurus. I mean, more experiences, more adventure, more learning, a bigger goal, a better goal, more money, a faster race. Just they want to, maybe I shouldn't say more. They're always wanting to go to the next level. So it's kind of like the game of Pac-Man, and you get the cherries and then you want the next thing and then the next thing and the next thing and the next thing until you get the pretzel or whatever it is. They want the next little trophy, always trying to improve. So it's that kind of more. But let me tell you, this is when Aries becomes fully self-actualized, and that is when they associate themselves with a great cause, or they align their personal desire and drive with something larger than their individual self. And Aries is here to create the desire to plant the seed, right? And then we really plant it in Taurus. But remember, it's like spring-like energy. So it's like when the seed falls to the ground, hasn't taken root yet. They are so intrinsically inspired and motivated in life. The trailblazer, the pioneer. Think of the person who has the machete, right? Cutting the jungle, creating the path for others to follow and walk through. It's really powerful. When I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand, so many years ago, like 33 years ago. My dad lived in Thailand for 10 years, and I spent my summers in Thailand before it was even on the tourist map to do. There really were no tourists at this time. This was like 30 years ago. I went to Chiang Rai. It's smaller than Chiang Mai. I went on an overnight trek. We had to like paddle through the river. I was so afraid of leeches. I had never done this before. And the guide had a big machete, and he cut down the jungle, if you will, to just walk a brand new trail. I was in awe. I was pretty young. I was like 28 years old, but, or 25 or something. Anyways, I just was in awe. I was like, wow, I am going where no man has walked before. That is Aries energy, my friend. That is what Aries is doing in your chart. Aries is the sign, and it is the part of your chart that leads the chart, that leads the charge and shows what needs to be done, what wants to be done, how are things done. So like other cardinal signs, they can also show new pathways, new inroads. Now remember how powerful Aries is. Aries is not only the beginning of spring, it is also the beginning of the entire astrological calendar year. This is the true beginning. January 1st is not the true beginning. It's actually kind of close to the end. Aries energy is groundbreaking, literally groundbreaking, like the spring. Aries usually become the trailblazers, the motivators, and the inspirational team captain or the MVP, or they're the one that wins the Heisman Trophy. They're the 5-star general. They can be, because they can really be the person who will lead the charge, or they'll be the Marine on the front line, or they'll be the Navy SEAL that drops down in and goes in first. Remember, the planetary ruler here is Mars. So wherever you have Aries in your chart, and I hope you watched my video on chart rulers. Oh my God, please tell me that you did. And go look at my playlist, because my playlist will show you the different themes that I have on my channel in different ways that you can learn. But wherever you have Mars in your chart, it is ruling this Aries house. So let's talk about some positive concepts for Aries. And wherever you have Aries in your chart, this is where you are. Let's recap. Courageous, bold, and inspiring to other people. This is where you have an instinct. It's not so much an intuition, it's high instincts. You're very perceptive, knowing what any given situation needs at any given time. This is sort of the firefighter in you and the EMT. This is the part of you that can take immediate action, be really fast on your feet and good at what you do. You probably don't need a lot of preparation because you got good instincts. This is where you'll take initiative and where you want and will probably get immediate results. This is where you don't hear no, you hear try harder. And this is the part of your chart where you will lead other people out of their doldrums, their delusions, their illusions, their challenges, and their pain, right? Just like the guy who was cutting the jungle for me, leading me into a whole new path in Chiang Rai, Thailand. It's so cool. This is where you will become, after 36 years old especially, your true self, unharnessed, unrestrained, and unleashed. This is the part of your chart that will get unstuck. This is the part of your chart that is most likely to get unstuck. So tell me what house you have Aries in, and tell me if you feel stuck. Now, if you have Saturn in Aries, you might feel stuck. I mean, there might be other things. There's 40,000 things in a chart that we have to look at and take into consideration. You might feel stuck for other reasons, but the Aries part of your chart probably is real gutsy. What happens when Aries goes wrong? Well, it becomes very Okay, let's talk more deeply about Cancers because I really want you to understand them. They're very different than Aries, but they have just as much force. It's just a deep internal force, and they understand the emotional world. They are so highly aware and perceptive, and they have this incredible emotional perception. When they are spiritually evolved, oh my God, they can understand the world around them on the emotional plane like no other sign. And they can even be psychic and even have direct contact and connection to divine spirit and the source of unconditional love. And then they can become that source themselves. So Cancers feel more than they think, but they are also highly intelligent creatures, but they do their intelligence through their feeling body. And that's why Cancers kind of need a compelling teacher to learn from. They can't just listen to that all day and win at life. They need to be evoked. They need an evocative conversation. They need the emotions to be involved in order to color their minds or their hearts or their feelings or their mood in order to learn. When that happens, they can become absolutely extraordinarily brilliant. But they spend a lot of their emotional energy and just their energy and their awareness to create self-preservation. They are very, very, very emotionally driven, just like the crab. And they're always expressing that inner drive with sort of a great caution, even a cynicism, a protection, and a circumspection. They're very circumspect. And so there's this deep intuition and an awareness about other people, about themselves, about how other people operate with them, and every single thing in their environment. So one of my good friends, Todd, is a Cancer, and I went to Mexico with him and his wife. And his wife is one of my very best friends. She was my maid of honor at my wedding. And we went to Mexico, and he was like, come on, Mare, come on, you got to go with me. You got to go with me. You got to come check the sunset out. And he took us out to this exact spot on this beach that they go to every single year. And he goes, now look up and look over there. Watch, the sun is going to fall into the ocean. It's going to be perfect. Right here, right here. Look right here, right here, right here, right here. Now look down here. Look at these seashells. Look at the ocean tide. Look at how the ocean's moving. Look at over here to your left. Look over to your right. Now, he goes there every year. But I am telling you, he's a Cancer. And the reason, he goes, this is my happy place. And I was just so moved because the reason why he knew, look up, look down, look to the left, look to the right, look behind you, look at the building behind you, look at how the sun is sparkling on the building behind you. Da, 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 da. He's not a Taurus. He's a Cancer. He is so highly aware of his environment through his feelings. And he said, I know this place so well because it's my happy place. It like is euphoric for him and it takes him over. And it was so cool. And his wife, who's one of my best friends, she and I are born literally 3 days apart. We were just giddy and giggling with joy because it was kind of fun seeing him out there. He told me, this is where I feel like I can let my guard down. Is that not a great Cancer story? I love that. There's this deep awareness about the environment, but Cancers take everything personally. They filter it through a system that is deeply personal. Like, how does this affect me? What does that say about me? If she says that, then what is she actually saying about me, right? If she says she hates the color blue, but that's the only color I wear, well, then she must not like me. Like, everything goes through a personal filter. So it can be exhausting being involved with a highly emotional, highly sensitive Cancer if you are an unaware, oblivious person. And by the way, this is how the fourth house works in your chart too. There's a subjectivity rather than an objectivity. Now, I know I have a ton, I can't even believe it, and I love it, but I have a ton of not first language English speakers. How do I say that? Where English isn't your first language, English is your second or third. Hopefully the closed captions will come on, but I want you to put in the comments if you don't understand something that I'm saying. And I will try my very best. I try my very best to read every single comment. I can't answer all of them, but I do prioritize my members. So if you are a member, I usually get back to you. It might take me a couple days, maybe a week, maybe 1 month, but put the little bell on because I will answer my members' questions. I try so hard. I only have so many hours in a day, right? But what I wanted to say is this is how your fourth house works. It works subjectively. It's not objective. The fourth house is not objective. Wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is how you will secure a foundation, a home, how you will plant roots, how you will create home base. This is home base for you. And after you have a solid place to grow your roots, that's when you can feel very, very excited about things beyond yourself. You have to have a home base to be able, a safe, beautiful, kind home base to have an energy to go beyond it. And wherever you have Cancer in your chart, this is where you will produce. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready. Even if you're a man, this is where you will produce mother energy. So Cancer's cardinal activation is subconscious and it is subjective. So it goes through the me filter and it is emotional. Cancer is also very good at helping you see, okay, if I'm the Cancer's energy helps the other person see what they cannot see or what they have not been seen. Let me tell you, that little walk out there in Rocky Point to my friend Todd's happy place, I could have been on that walk and I will promise you something. I would not have seen it the way he saw it because it went through his subjective filtering. I would have never seen it the way he saw it without him showing me how to have seen it. Wow, say that 3 times. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So it's really cool. They help you see things in a new way like you've never seen before. So wherever you have this in your chart, this is what you're doing for other people in the arena, in the house, in the subject matter where your Cancer energy is. It's really beautiful, isn't it? The Cancer energy in your chart is where you will be the unconditional mother, the unconditional nurturer, and where you really want to hold down the fort and where you might even become a black bear. Yeah, the black mama bear with the cubs. You will be a leader through emotional activation. It is your energy. It is your emotional energy that you lend to others, that you will guide. You will show them a new way. You will blaze the new trail. Just like I was talking about Aries with the guy with the machete, literally blazing a trail through the jungle. You will do that through your emotional awareness. You will do that by how you connect with others emotionally. You will lead the emotional environment. You will lead the emotions in your home. So I hope to God you are healthy and you're not leading the emotions in your home in a destructive, narcissistic, gross, selfish way, right? I am praying that if you live with a Cancer, that they are a healthy one. Are they? Tell me. And if you're a Cancer, I hope that you're adding healthy emotional energy into your home because you are paving. Okay, the emotional energy is like the background music at the dinner table. If we're going to listen to AC/DC, Hell's Bells at the dinner table, it's quite a different vibe than Pink Martini singing their Portuguese Latin song, right? So now it changes the mood. Now, I'm not saying Hell's Bells is bad and Pink Martini is good, although I prefer that one. But what I'm saying is you're the mood creator. You are birthing the emotional energy. Wherever you go, you are the emotional trailblazer. Really reflect on that. And are you doing this in a way that is comfortable for yourself and comfortable for others? Are you playing the music in the background? Because Cancer is kind of quiet, so they're the background music. Are you playing the music that matches the theme that you want to birth life to? Does that make sense? That you want to create to? Isn't this exciting? I love teaching you guys. And if you want to learn more, I cannot recommend enough my child's report. Even if you're as old as me, your child's report, the child's report is so good and it goes so deep into your chart and it slices it in a little bit of a different way. I also love the Soul's Design report that I sell. Just hit the shop tab at soulnavigation.com and you guys can go see all my different options. I have so many. And if you want to understand your chart personally in a deeper way, consider getting a reading with Connie Jo. She has some availability even this month, or you could get on my calendar if you want to wait. But I highly recommend you get a natal chart reading with Connie Jo. She is amazing. She is brilliant. She is so talented and you guys will love it. It is, I would say it's priceless. It's absolutely priceless to have your chart read by a person who is really talented and skilled. Now, I want to tell you, even if you don't have any planets in Cancer like me, I don't have any planets in Cancer, but the moon in your chart is ruling this house. So wherever Cancer is in your chart, the moon. So I do hope you guys are learning all this. Tell me if you get it. Tell me if you get it. So you have to know what the moon is doing to understand what Cancer energy in your chart really wants and how it operates. Cancer energy also wants to share a bond with an animal, with a plant, with a person, with another human being. They want a bond, and they want a deep bond. They want a deep, meaningful bond. When Cancer goes right, they are very, very sensitive to. Okay, Libras. Libras are in search, perpetual search for, I guess, the perfect, the best, the equal, the harmonious relationship. And that can be friendships, social relationships, business relationships, romantic relationships, marriage partners. And they have a great need to initiate creating connection and contacts. And they see themselves perpetually through the eyes of the other person and how other people react to them. And so they do initiate, they take their energy and they take their tools inside of them, and they want to initiate harmony. And they also want to initiate and create. Remember, I said these are the life force bearers. They create the life force energy, and they are here to create harmony, beauty, peace, connection. They're very good at creating beauty in all things that they do. And they like to initiate creating a harmonious, beautiful environment in all of their surroundings, at their home, at their work, wherever they go. They kind of carry this within themselves. They also are sort of the matchmakers of the zodiac, and they like to initiate matching people up. Oh, you would be good with, oh, you would be great with, yeah, professionally and personally. They are here and they are driven to bring a balance, to see both sides. Now we're starting to become objective, and I can see your perspective and I can see my own perspective, and I want to create a harmonious balance, a little of you and a little of me. And they channel their energy in ways that create social impact and big social impact. They become the big influencer, right? The social influencer. They really and truthfully want every single person in the group or in the bond or in the commitment or in the tribe or in the clique or in the organization to have their way. And they want to figure out, and they can initiate, and they usually can problem solve how they can please and make every single person get their way, have their way, and feel good. And when they fail at that, it eats them up. Can you Libras relate? And wherever you have Libra in your chart, this is where you have a great deal of objectivity, where you want a great deal of harmony. I'm not saying you have it, but that's where you want it, and that's where you strive to get it, and where you are the great negotiator. So this is where you will do expert negotiations. Their energy can activate for all people and all sides of the equations, all needs. If they are the waitress at the restaurant, they can activate for what the busboy needs, what the cook needs, and what the manager needs, and how they can build it all together and initiate where it's good for all people, where the cook gets the free meal, wants to work harder, has an incentive, but the boss didn't have to spend extra money because we ate off of a smaller menu, whatever. I'm just saying they can see it, they can see the entire puzzle, and they love the social order and creating harmony for all the different bits. They basically lend their energy to other people. They use their cardinal drive, their cardinal passion to negotiate, diplomatically create, inspire the whole entire group and everyone in it to be in harmony with the rest. I will also say that wherever you have Libra in your chart, this is where you're a trendsetter. This is where you will blaze the trail of like a new way of speaking, feeling, talking, looking, a new way of beauty. This is where you probably have beauty. So if you have this in the third house, you might have a beautiful voice. If you have this in the fourth house, you might have a beautiful home. If you have this in the fifth house, you might have beautiful children. If you have this in the seventh house, you might have a beautiful partner, right? Or you might have a beautiful romance. If you have this in the eighth house, well, you might have beautiful tarot cards or beautiful occult, gemstones, things that go with the occult. You might have a beautiful bedroom. You might have received money from another partner. If you have this in the ninth house, you might have a belief system that's attached to beauty, or you might love traveling to beautiful places. And you might have a high sense of fashion if you've got a lot of Libra planets. You might be very aesthetic. You might be the leader in good taste in your group. I want to also say that Libras do have a tendency to set the standards. They will set the standards on beauty, on tact, on refinement, on class, on culture, on taste. They are sort of the standard bearer, right? They're the gold seal, if you will. When Libra is positive and healthy, they can be so impartial. They make phenomenal judges. They are so balanced and diplomatic in their thinking, in their speech. They don't just say it, they actually believe it and feel it. So wherever you have Libra in your chart, this is probably where you're very reasonable and objective, where you can really weigh both sides, and where you might be very refined and even artistic and have a beautiful sense of style about yourself. When Libra is healthy, they usually have very successful, lovely partnerships and marriages. There's charisma, there's style, there's taste, there's kindness, there's politeness, there's manners, they're well-behaved. In whatever house you have Libra in, this is where you're kind of well-mannered. When Libras are healthy, they're very sociable. They're not too much, they're not too little, they're active listeners. Somebody who is a really competent, kind listener is probably a Libra, somebody who listens with objectivity and is really standing in your shoes, not in a too mushy of a way, but they have a grace and a charm and an inspiration, and they inspire other people in these ways. They inspire another person to take a risk and try. They inspire another person to take on something more than what they normally would do. So the bond with a Libra really is quite comfortable and it's inspiring. It doesn't rattle your nerves. It's not telling you to go jump off the cliff with the bungee jumping like an Aries would. Like, just do it. You only live once. I dare you. It's more like, let's hold hands and do it together and I'll help you through it. And, we'll talk about fun things on the way down. Whee! Right? Like, it's about connecting and matchmaking in a way. Like, I'll match you. I'll meet you. I'll make it comfortable for you. Libras like to make things more comfortable. Now, when Libra is unhealthy, it's none of anything I just said. And don't forget, if you are a member, you get to see this video in its entirety. And I am giving you guys all the juicy fruit. And there are so many good bits that go to just my members. So consider joining the channel. It means the world to me, and it actually helps me do more content, and it helps this channel thrive. And so I can teach and I can continue teaching so much more when you become a member. Capricorns. Okay. Capricorns initiate success, and they have an immense desire to create something not good, but great. They have a desire to really make meaning out of their life in the concrete material world. I mean, they want a statue built in a park with their face on it saying, I did good in this lifetime. They want the airport named after them. Not really. I'm kind of joking because not every Capricorn needs that, but they would like a book or a record or something left in the tangible world that they did. They become quite influential in their environment. They know that they are born to influence. They're born with sort of a greatness. Now remember, Capricorn rules that 10th house naturally, and that's up at the MC. And if you guys haven't watched our video on the 10th house, please go watch it if you have a lot of Capricorn energy in your chart. Wherever you have Capricorn energy in your chart, this is where you're working for success, whatever success means to you. Okay, success can mean a lot of different things. If it's the 4th house, it's probably around loving your family. If it's the 11th house, you might really want massive success where you can change the world. If it's the 12th house, you might have a spiritual quest that means success to you, right? So the house really matters. So what house do you have Capricorn energy in? And it's important to know what house you have all these cardinal signs in. What houses do they fall in? So you can see where this cardinal powerhouse energy of a cross operates in your life. And the cardinal signs are going to be opposite to one another. So Aries is the opposite of Libra, and they're on opposite sides doing opposite things. And Cancer is the opposite to Capricorn. And wherever you have Saturn in your chart, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So your Saturn placement by house and by sign is ruling your Capricorn cardinal powerhouse energy. Yeah. And so your Saturn is showing you how you deal with discipline. Capricorn usually is after the long range goal, like they're planning for their retirement when they're 9 years old. They really initiate and have a motivation and an ambition for the fulfillment of their own goals. Capricorn energy signals the energy of the new year, right? It brings in January 1st and all of that. There's a lot of initiation with the new year, right? Although it's not really the astrological new year, but it is the Western calendar's new year. And so I want you to think about that as Capricorn energy, like a new routine, new goals, new ambitions, new desires around job, career, health, wellness. How am I going to be better? How am I going to improve? What are my new goals? So Capricorn energy reminds me a lot of New Year's resolutions. So Capricorns are the great initiators, and they are the true self-starters in the zodiac. And not only will they become the CEO of their own lives, they oftentimes become the CEO of your life and your life and your life and your life, right? They oftentimes they have a lot of employees that count on them for a paycheck. They like to build. They are great builders, and they like to build foundations and make them come into fruition and make them cha-ching pay out for all people, themselves and others. They're very, very good at the to-do list. They know what they need to do. They know what battles need to be won in order to win this war. And they are steadfast and disciplined, and they stick to it. Capricorns initiate with advice. They love to give advice, and that is probably their favorite thing to do. Tell other people how to do it, why to do it, when to do it, how they can be great, how they can be successful, what they need, when they need it, right? So Capricorns give advice, and they're oftentimes put into a leadership position to advise others. And they like starting their own business or taking on big projects or being a turnkey business or opening up a new franchise. Capricorns like building new things, growing new things, writing the next book, writing the next, album, filming the next movie. They don't like just being an actor. Eventually they want to become the director and then the producer, and then they want to own the production company. Yeah. Just like Cancers can show you what's missing emotionally, like I was talking about my friend Todd taking us to Rocky Point. By the way, if you just came to Capricorn because you have Capricorn in your chart, please go back and watch all 4 signs, because you have all 4 signs in your chart. We're not just talking about planets, we're talking about the signs, and everybody has all 12 signs in your chart, and where they are will show you how they operate. So just like Cancer shows you sort of what's emotionally missing in your life, Capricorns are going to show you what goals are missing in your life and how to achieve your goals and what's missing in your life to achieve those goals, right? Oh, you say you want to be a famous author, but you're not sitting down every day for 20 minutes writing. Oh, Meredith, you say you want to speak French, but you're not doing your Duolingo every day. Wonder why not? Mon ami, voulez-vous? I'm trying to learn French. I'm doing it 10 minutes a day, and I've done it for 5 days. And I can say un chat, un homme, a cat, a man. Yeah, it's going really well. But anyways, Capricorns help themselves and help others build a solid plan to success. They chase success. They put new energy into new projects, into new achievements, and that's how they feel good about their lives. They're here to build a legacy of deep meaning. They are the go-getters. They have a lot of stamina. They don't need Aries results right now. They really want long-term results to pay out, and they want them to pay out nicely over time. I think Capricorns really can shine the light on accomplishments. And if you have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart and a lot of Capricorn energy in your chart, this is the mommy daddy axis of the zodiac. So this works sort of like the authority in your life. Capricorn energy, this is where you are the authority, you are the daddy, you are the, like I said, the CEO, the executive, you call the shots. People don't mess with you. And so you can have a mommy authority in your life too. It's very interesting for people who have a lot of Cancer and Capricorn in their chart, because I see them play a mommy daddy role. Capricorn, you'll love like a dad. You will love like a protector. You will talk about, do you know how to put air in your tire? Do you know how to fix a flat tire? Do you have a flashlight by your bedroom? Do you have extra batteries in your house? Do you have a savings account? And do you have 3 months salary in your savings account? No, I have a week. Well, you need to earn 3 months savings. So in case you get sick, has anybody had this conversation with you? Yeah, they were coming from Capricorn. So where do you have Capricorn daddy energy in your chart, right? And where is your Saturn? These are the business CEOs who push the team to massive success and want to win the award for best entrepreneurial company in the, city of Paris or London. Yeah. And they keep raising the bar higher and higher. Oh, here's Bo. He just got back from the groomer. He's so cute. He smells like lavender. Oh my God, he's so cute. Hi. As I was saying, Capricorns like to keep raising the bar higher and higher and higher around their goals. Like Cancer probably likes to keep raising the bar on making the bond go deeper and deeper and deeper. Capricorn wants more and more and more achievement and wants, honestly, more material success. So whatever material, I remember I was talking to this woman once and she said, well, is my partner going to be rich? And I was like, yeah, he's probably going to be a millionaire. She was like, millionaire? I don't date anybody who doesn't make 10 million or more. What's a millionaire? That's like poverty. I was like, oh my God. Okay. She was a Capricorn. I thought $1 million was a lot. I'm sorry, lady. I knew that it said a lot. I just didn't know what a lot was because I'm not a Capricorn. I thought $1 million was a lot of money. Okay. At that time, I thought 550 was a lot of money. So forgive me. So Capricorns want a lot. What does a lot mean? I have no idea. It might be $25 for you and it might be 10 million for her. But Capricorns want a lot and they expect a lot and they work hard to get a lot and they constantly raise the bar on themselves and they kind of work themselves to death, to tell you the truth. Capricorns can be very difficult to work for or to work with because we don't all come wired that way. Now, when Capricorns go right, oh my gosh. Well, these are the cardinal signs and I want to know how they're playing out in your chart. I want to know if you're loving learning astrology. And also, if you want to come learn with me in person, I still have a few tickets left to my workshop in May. Just go to soulnavigation.com and click on Meredith's Astrology Workshops and Retreat. It is going to be amazing. I'm taking you out for a night out on the town. You can go check out my curriculum, what I'll be teaching for 3 days. Come find your soul tribe. It's going to be incredible. And it's here in Seattle. And I hope so much that we get to meet face to face and you will come and learn with me. Join, subscribe. Please like this video so it gets pushed out and do all the YouTube things. And just know that I love being here with you. And from my house here in Seattle to wherever you're living at in the world, I love having you here with me and take good care of yourself. Until I see you next time, Sundays, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Take good care. Bye.